So anyway, here we are, Miss Andrea Martin. Andrea.
Yeah.
Take it away.
So big.
Oh my God! Wait, did you do an intro? I can't hear one thing back.
Yeah.
Did you?
We
Did they say nice things about me, or just here's Andrea Martin? Whatever. Okay, this is extraordinary, and I think of Seth and James's family, and Patrick Wilson said it correctly. Tonight is about family, and you all feel like an extended family. I think you're big fans of Broadway, and it feels like a Broadway community. So I knew I was going to speak here tonight, and I rode my bike along the Hudson River down to the Twin Towers, and I looked at the Freedom Tower, and I looked out at the Statue of Liberty, and I thought about my own grandparents who immigrated here in 1915 to escape the genocide in Armenia. And I thought about the kindness of strangers, and then I went home and I wrote this, which has actually just happened. So it's how the kindness of a stranger touched me. I just got back from a trip to France with 10 members of my family who live all across the country. I had to fly to London to make a connecting flight back to New York. I had one little carry-on, but the surly Parisian ticket agent at the counter told me I had to check it in. I told her I had only 90 minutes in Heathrow to change terminals and connect to an international flight, and I was nervous I'd miss my flight as it was the last one of the day. If you try to bring your bag on the plane, you will be stopped at the gate and forbidden to fly, she said. She'd vacationed in Bulgaria, I guess. It's my go-to accent, you know what? So now I'm crying and I'm begging her to let me bring the bag on, but she just stands there sipping her coffee and shaking her head. No. Oh, she was cold. She was a cold, beautiful, but cold. So I had to check my bag. I got on the flight. I'm sitting down. I know I've only got 90 minutes to make this flight, and I hear the captain say, we're going to be delayed for 45 minutes. So now I'm like Rain Man in my seat, going back and forth. I'll never make it. I'll never make it. 10 minutes to Wapner. 10 minutes to Wapner. Okay, look, I know this is a high-class problem, all right? I'm flying business class. I've got a platinum Amex card with me, and I hadn't just traveled for 2 weeks by foot from Guatemala to the Texas border. But I nevertheless felt alone and helpless. A very dignified Scottish gentleman sitting next to me could tell that I was anxious and distraught. He struck up a conversation. You'll be fine, he said. You'll make it. When we land, I'll walk you to immigration and show you how to change terminals. And if you describe your bag, I'll pick it up from the carousel while you talk to baggage claim to make alternate plans. I knew because he told me his wife was picking him up, but he also told me that 5 minutes that she would have to wait was worth alleviating my anxiety. And believe me, this guy had not seen Pippin. Nor had he seen my 3-episode arc on The Good Fight. He was just a kind, compassionate, empathic stranger. He walked me through the maze of Heathrow to immigration. He got my bag. He ran with me to security as I only had 15 minutes to get to my gate. I cleared security and turned back to him as he stood there waving goodbye. You'll be fine, he said. Good luck. I made the flight as the doors were closing. I sat on the plane overwhelmed at this man's kindness. He wanted nothing from me, just wanted to help because it was a decent thing to do. I think people are starving for something beautiful, and seeing something that brings joy is rare. I wanted to share this with you because we can't always control what is happening on the outside, but we can control how we respond to others. Now please welcome to the stage a stranger to no one and a friend to all, my friend, the kind, the compassionate, the beautiful Tina Fey.
Hi, Seth and James. Andrea's so short. I'm so happy to be here tonight. When Seth emailed me, as he said, about doing this, I immediately said yes, and I said I would very much like to sing Climb Every Mountain. So I don't know what happened there. But I am thrilled to be here tonight, and thank you to the Cooper Union Board of Trustees, the Chair, Rachel Warren, and President Laura Sparks, and of course to Seth and James for organizing this so quickly. I'm honored to be with you today to help raise funds for these vital organizations working to protect families and advocate for their rights at our southern border. Your generosity will assist detained families so they can reunite, be treated with dignity, and complete their journeys from Mexico to Canada. Because there's no way America was their first choice destination in this, because right now this place is a little bit of a grill fire. I believe it will be delicious here again one day, but this batch of burgers is burnt. Move on. Cooper Union is the perfect venue for today's Concert for America. For generations, great thinkers have come to the Great Hall to address the vital issues of their time. From Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton fighting for women's suffrage, to Red Cloud and Little Raven advocating for the rights of Native Americans, to Frederick Douglass defending the Emancipation Proclamation, to Caitlin Schneeman's bat mitzvah, because this room can also be rented for private events. Her theme was Rihanna at the beach. Because even a bastion of free speech and a witness to the flow of American history and ideas has got to keep the lights on. So, contact Christine Sarkisian to rent the space at any time. And right here at this very lectern, this actual lectern, is where Abraham Lincoln spoke out against the expansion of slavery in 1860. So please, turn your attention away from my upper arm area to the lectern. What do you mean it's too late? All right. But this is true. Abraham Lincoln stood here and spoke out against slavery just before the start of the Civil War, at a time when America was divided, but not as divided as they would have been if they had had Twitter. And other than my physical resemblance to Mary Todd, I have no business speaking at this lectern. So I brought two friends with me. I had the pleasure of hearing these young writers from the East Harlem School at a poetry event last month, and they kindly agreed to come here tonight, and they're each going to read one of their poems. Also, by the way, they're an 8th grader and a 9th grader. They're real kids. They're not crisis actors. The idea that people think kids are crisis actors is so clearly people who have never met a child actor. Like, child actors are the worst. You would not believe them if they were really child actors. Anyway, so please welcome to read their poems, rising 8th and 9th graders, Brittany and Eduardo.
Hi. So my name is Eduardo. My parents immigrated here from Mexico, and one of my brothers did too. And I was born here with my other brother, and yeah, so this poem is from my mom and dad, and yeah. Oh, and the title of my poem is Global Citizen. What papers does it take to make a person a global citizen? What passport, what visa, what special stamp do you need to get that honor? How many borders must you have crossed and how many times? And how often must you tell the story to your fearfully proud children? Is it enough to have crossed the same border twice, on foot and in stealth? Is it enough to believe they will kill you if you don't move, but you can't be completely sure since they're shouting in English, a language you don't understand? Is it enough to think you have lost your son, my brother, in the middle of the desert, the sun boiling over you both, yelling at him to run when they tell you to stop? Is it enough for your tears to come down like the waterfalls in Mexico? Or must you, when you finally make it here, or must you endure more? When will it be enough? When my mom tells me her stories, I know that she and all other immigrants are truly global citizens, and they have had enough.
Hi, my name is Brittany. My poem, well, it was inspired by my grandmother, and my mother and father immigrated here from Mexico. My mom is a single mother, and this is dedicated to my grandmother and her mother for being strong women. The butterfly and the border. The waves and rocks crashed together. My grandmother sat next to me with her head on my shoulder. Yo deseo ser una mariposa. I wish to be a butterfly, because a butterfly has libertad. A butterfly has freedom. She could fly across the border without any weight on her shoulders. Seeing the vast ocean without nothing blocking our view, that's how she wanted life and the world to be. We heard the waves, the wind, and the birds flying. We sat there as the world rotated through space, as people and life passed us by, as if time didn't matter. As the sun was preparing to sleep and the moon and stars arranged themselves to light up the darkness, I said, "Tú eres la mariposa que cruzó todas las fronteras en tu vida, y yo soy una oruga que se estaba preparando y que todavía necesito enfrentar mis fronteras. You are the butterfly that has crossed all the borders in your life, and I am the caterpillar still getting ready with many borders ahead of me."
Thank you, Brittany and Alberto. Thank you. And donate.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.